The Hogwarts Legacy launch trailer is here, and in this video I'm going to be breaking it down to point out all of the little details that you might have missed. And sadly, this is probably the last time I'll ever say that. My trailer breakdown days are coming to an end. Anyway, in this first shot we can see this signpost giving directions to various towns and shops. We can also see this one. I had no idea what this was, but the people over on Discord mentioned it looks like a broom. Another user mentioned it looks like a feather in a bottle. I think it looks more like the latter, but the first option is probably more likely. In this next shot we can see our player walking into the Great Hall. At first I thought this was our first night at the castle and this was the start of your feast, but after a moment's consideration I don't think this is the case. You can see the player is wearing a Gryffindor robe compared to the Hogwarts robes we see the player wearing during the sorting ceremony in the gameplay reveal. So unless they changed up the timing of everything, I think we can be fairly certain this is just a random point in the game. Here we can see the MC receiving the field guide. The interesting part of this shot is that the player is standing in front of the fat lady, so if I had to guess, I'd say that there is a unique cutscene for this moment in front of every common room. When the player opens the field guide, these glowing pages and cutouts fly out of the book. We can see a couple of dragons, a hippogriff, a witch, a tree, a moon, and a few runes. Also, it should be noted that Professor Weasley is the one who gives us the book in this shot. Speaking of Professor Weasley, here we can see her transfigure what looks like a golden snitch into a butterfly. In this shot, we can see the Care of Magical Creatures professor cast some sort of magic to display this almost holographic unicorn. I'm wondering if this could be her Patronus. We can also see a deer call in this scene. Moving into the greenhouse, our characters got the new AirPod Pros. Also, we see the student from the moth puzzle featured in the previews. Here in Ollivanders, we see this shattered piece of what looks like a staff. When the wand box is opened, we can see this wand featuring what looks like ancient magic swirls. Here we can see that same wand now glowing with what looks like ancient magic. Could this be Merlin's wand? Personally, I don't think so. Here we can see a different wand, but the same wand box. If I had to guess, I'd say that this wand is just one of the many options. We can see a number of ancient magic swirls in this chamber, as well as this central orb. This chamber doesn't look like anything Merlin would have or could have created. It looks older, like it's from some forgotten time in history. In this shot, we can see what looks like a pensive, and it should be noted that this chamber is near or under water, probably the Black Lake. I'm saying this because of the waterfalls. As the player nears the pensive, this ancient magic swirl rises up. Maybe we have to perform ancient magic on this object as a way to verify our identity and grant us access to the pensive and the secrets contained within. In this next shot, we can see what I can only describe as an ancient magic book. If you're looking for some sort of in-depth "this is Merlin's book because X, Y, and Z theory," I'll have to refer you to the Expect to Go channel. And this also looks like another pensive. Here we can see stone knights, which look shockingly similar to the knights who protect Hogwarts in Book 7 and the 8th movie. They are summoned by this knight whose sword puts off a similar effect to the effect put off by the ancient magic swirl, which came out of the pensive. In this shot, we can see the sign for Dervish and Bangs, which means that this scene goes down here in Hogsmeade. We see this giant creature emerge from some sort of liquid-looking substance. Could this be the same substance that we see in this very strange shot from the gameplay reveal? In this shot, as the stone bridge is levitated into place, we can see a few spells fire off from up on the cliffside, including this one, which looks incredibly similar to a Patronus. I don't see any Dementors up on the cliff, but we already know that Avalanche doesn't mind taking things out of cutscenes for trailers to prevent spoilers. We see the goblins, including Ranrock, fighting this guardian using wandless magic, including this very strange looking spell here. The armor these goblins are wearing glows red as they cast magic, and honestly at this point I'm a little confused as to what these glowing armor pieces we've been seeing even do. I thought there was some form of control, but if Ranrock is wearing it, does it actually enhance the abilities of the wearer? I guess we'll have to wait for release to find out. In this shot we see the player run ahead of Fig, and then a few seconds later we're nowhere to be seen. It almost looks like Fig stayed behind to save us. Here we see ourselves and Fig about to be squashed by this falling rock. This appears to be the same scene and rock we saw earlier in the trailer. And can we take a moment to appreciate this poacher sound effect? I'll just play it a few times so you can all enjoy it. Now that is the sound of pure terror. And finally, this section of the Dark Forest looks very similar to this location we saw in the second gameplay showcase. So yeah, that was 35 missable details in the Hogwarts Legacy launch trailer. I'm incredibly excited for post-launch content. While this will most likely be the last missable details video, post-launch secrets videos are coming in hot. So if you're interested in any of that, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one.